earlier today, they announced the nominations for the Golden Globes, and immediately I started to see words on the internet like snub, disappointing, bizarre. And my reaction was kind of like, what did you expect? It's the Golden Globes. They always nominate bizarre things. So I've never really taken the Golden Globes seriously, and there's several different reasons for that. So let's talk about it. Hi, if you're new here, my name is SeanChandler, and I started this channel essentially because I love to talk about movies way too much. With that in mind, I'd love to talk about the Golden Globes way too much with you down below in the comment section. So let me know, what did you think about the nominations? Do they seem particularly bad this year, or are they always kind of bizarre? Do you kind of have my take on it that the Golden Globes are kind of a joke? Let me know down below your thoughts on the whole thing. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. And so the Golden Globes essentially are an awards ceremony that are voted on by only 93 people, and they are from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Now, if you're like me, you don't know what the Hollywood Foreign Press Association is. Every year when the nominations come out, I go, what are the Golden Globes again? And so I click on the Hollywood Foreign Press Association Wikipedia page and I read what they are, and this is what it says. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association is a nonprofit organization of journalists and photographers who report on the entertainment industry, activity, and interests in the United States for information outlets, newspapers, magazines, book publications, television, and radio broadcasting, predominantly outside of the United States. Okay, so it's a group of less than 100 journalists and photographers who vote on the best of movies and television each year. Now, of course, the only reason that I know what the Hollywood Foreign Press Association is because of the Golden Globes. They have kind of a marketing event that they do every year, the Golden Globes, that let us know that they exist. But outside of that, I don't know what this association is. I don't know who any of these 93 voting members are, but every year they put out a list of nominations that are weird. They're always bizarre lists. Even if you look at their categories, they have two different categories for Best Picture. Best Picture Drama and Best Picture Musical Comedy. Which right off the bat you go, that's a weird division to make, musical and comedy, but it gets even weirder when you start diving into who's nominated into each of these categories. So this year, our nominations for Best Picture Drama are Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, If Beale Street Could Talk, and A Star Is Born. So right off the bat, if you look at that, there's like no common thread inside of that, except every single one of the people nominated has a B word in the title. Beyond that, if you look at it, Bohemian Rhapsody and A Star Is Born are musicals. They're movies that have musical compositions on the forefront that are sung inside the movie as a big part of the plot. Like, they're musicals by any stretch of the imagination, but they're in the drama category. Now let's look over at the comedy category. Crazy Rich Asians, The Favorite, Green Book, Mary Poppins Returns, and Vice. Now, I haven't seen Green Book or Vice, but from people I know that have seen them, both of them have been like, these are dramas. They have comedy, they have comedic elements, and we have two movies that are clearly musicals by normal definitions. They're clearly music-based, but they're in the drama category. So right off the bat, you just look at the nominations and it's bizarre. It's just weird looking at it. A few years back, The Martian won Best Comedy or Musical, which it has jokes, but it's by no stretch of any sort of reasonable definition of comedy, a comedy. So what's going on here? Well, just stop and think about it. First off, it's voted on by less than 100 people. That's a very bad pooling sample size. People question the validity of Rotten Tomatoes constantly, and their base for the critical rating on there is hundreds of people. Every blockbuster has 200, 300 different people that vote on it. Golden Globes, less than 100. But it's beyond that. It's not just less than 100 people, it's also all foreign markets. And some of them are photographers, which is weird. Just very bizarre thing. So that's such a small base to vote on something. Like when you talk about the Academy Awards, it's thousands of people that are working in the industry in Hollywood. They're people that you have actually heard of, like actual journalists and people, filmmakers and things that you know their names are the people voting on it. Hollywood Foreign Press Association. I don't know who any of these people are. I've never heard anyone say, oh, I'm a member of the Hollywood Press. Like the reason that we voted for that, like I've never heard any of that. They're all just kind of this mysterious group of 93 people out there voting on this stuff. So the whole thing to me feels like a group of less than 100 people are trying to guess what people think are the best. And they're trying to, like, what the people, everyone, they're trying to guess what everyone likes. So you just go down this list of movies nominated for Best Drama. The first one, and a Marvel comic book movie. Now, granted, it's you know, nice, some Shakespearean structures to it. It's kind of like the Lion King inside of the MCU with some of the story structure and cousins and family members killed off and stuff like that. But it's a comic book movie that's made for a broad audience. So that's number one. Second one, Black Klansman. A historic sort of drama with some dark humor inside of it about the Klan back in the 70s. And with a lot of political allegory, allusions, and things like that. Pretty different. I mean, I guess there's some comparisons, both kind of deal with racial issues and politics like that, but very different movies. Third one on there, Bohemian Rhapsody. These first two both had over 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Bohemian Rhapsody, it's got like a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a crowd pleaser. It's by its nature, it's formulaic, it fits the template of behind the music, there's a breakup and it come back together, big slam bang finale. It's a crowd pleaser. It's movies that audiences go to, and if you see it with a big room full of people, you want to tap your foot, remember a bunch of songs, and you're singing "We Will Rock You" during the movie and all that. This is not great cinema. This is not Best Picture material at all. If you love it, you want to go out and buy it, I totally get it. But Best Picture out of the hundreds of movies released this year, why on earth would they put it on this list? Well, because it came out a couple months ago and people are still pretty excited about it. It overperformed at the box office, at least by my estimations. It overperformed at the box office. But it's like pandering to audiences of people. It's got dramatic elements. So it's like, what's the movie that lots of audience members are liking out there that we can throw one to them? That's what it feels like to me, pandering to mainstream audiences. But Best Picture, bizarre. Then the next one, If Beale Street Could Talk. Now, maybe I shouldn't admit this. I have no idea what that movie is. I follow Movie News Daily. I post videos on here. A ton of stuff comes out, so sometimes I miss things. Obviously, I cover mainstream blockbusters more so than indie stuff. I don't know what that movie is. I try to kind of follow somewhat what kind of the buzz is for Best Picture, but maybe it's my blind spot. I don't know what that is. So we've got, as mainstream of an MCU, the most popular franchise out there, we got that one. Then we got Spike Lee movie. Then we've got Bohemian Rhapsody, crowd pleaser, but not Best Picture material. And then we've got a movie that I haven't even heard of. And the last one on here, A Star Is Born. That one makes sense. I get that one. I'm tracking with that one. Obviously it's movie got great reviews, and it's kind of the underdog in the behind the scenes stuff too, because you got first time director Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, first big starring role type thing in it. So there's a number of different things. Okay, I get that one. But then we got like the obvious contender, Black Klansman's probably obvious contender, and then just some bizarre off the wall stuff. Just like, where did this come from? Did everyone in the room take a guess as what they thought people wanted them to nominate? And then you head on over to Best Musical Comedy, Crazy Rich Asians. Okay, Best Comedy, that makes sense. The Favorite. I would think you would nominate The Favorite for just Best Drama. If you think it's like Best Picture caliber, it's got dark comedy in it, but it's weird that it's in the comedy musical category. The Green Book. Once again, it's got comedy elements. I haven't seen it, but by all those spaces, it's just a great movie. Why wouldn't you put this one up here? Which one is the better made drama? The Favorite, The Green Book, or Bohemian Rhapsody? And I liked Bohemian Rhapsody, but obviously these two are a different pedigree of film. It's just weird. Mary Poppins Returns makes sense. Vice. Once again, if you think it's a great movie, why doesn't it put it up here? And so this is one of the things people speculate a lot, is that when they think that a movie might not win in the main category, if they want two movies that should be in the best drama category to win. What they do is they put a couple of them, they shuffle them into the musical comedy category, so it's like a shoe-in win. And so it's basically the second tier best picture category, just bizarre stuff like that. That's what The Martian was. Like, it's a great movie, The Martian, yeah. We want it to win, so best musical comedy. It all seems like a joke to me. Like, you should walk through the whole thing. They're taking guesses, just throwing names out there. A few years back, like, I bet it was back 2010, they nominated The Tourist for best musical comedy. This is a movie that nobody liked. Audiences didn't like it, and they nominated it because they wanted Brad and Angelina, because they were the stars of the movie, to show up at the ceremony or something like that. I mean, it's just weird stuff like that. And that's what the Golden Globes have always been. So I don't take them seriously. I assume every year they're gonna put out crappy nominations. Then I'm not disappointed. I'm amused. I think it's funny, but I don't have any expectations that they would be good. Even if they were good, it just feels to me like they did a better job of guessing what to put in the list or what I would want in the list, as opposed to like, oh no, they're figuring things out now. They're actually really good. No, they're just making stuff up as they go along. That's my take. That's what I think the Golden Globes are. I think they're kind of a joke. Less than 100 people voting, all the Foreign Press Association, I don't know what it is. I don't know who these people are. Every year there's just weird nominations that there's the whole thing. I don't get it. How about you? Tell me your thoughts on it down below. Maybe you can maybe someone can defend the Golden Globes. Help me like figure out why I should respect this organization. Maybe there's something I'm missing. I'd love to hear it. But anyway, comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.